If you want your situation to change, here are 5 things you need to do. All right, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Experience Health Podcast. I'm excited to dive into this podcast. We're not going to be really talking about like nutrition, health education as much today, but we are going to talk about how to change your current situation. If you don't like where you're at, or even if you just want to level up, then this video is for you. My battery's about to die though, so I need to plug my camera in 1 second. All right, I'm back. Also, I got a new chair for my desk. It's beige. I'm very risky doing that. I already got chocolate stains on it that I had to clean out, but it's okay. I wanted it to match my bed, which is about kind of a beige champagne type color. I really like it. So that's where we're at today. But I'm going to dive into this podcast because I am super excited. This topic idea actually came to me when I was falling asleep, I think. And I was like, this would be a really fun thing to talk about next week. So I decided to implement, which is one of the really important parts of this podcast. But the first thing that you need to do, okay, if you're in a situation that you do not like, okay, I'm going to use myself as an example. A few years ago, I was dealing with a lot of health issues. It was after I had gone through a few years of restrictive eating patterns, overtraining, high stress, left me with a bunch of health issues. I had chronic fatigue, chronic bloating, chronic pain, all the time, chronic, rough. And then I also had binge eating disorder as well. And while I was there, I was like, I do not want to be here. And so I tried, a few different things. I tried a lot of different things to try to help, number one, get rid of binge eating. I tried physical therapy to help reduce my pain. I tried different supplements and nutrition coaches to help try to decrease my bloating. I tried a lot of different things, I guess, to help me get out of the situation. But one thing that was missing was my acceptance of the situation that I was in. I was trying to fight against it so hard that it was just causing me to kind of dig myself into a little hole. And so the only way that I was able to get out was first accept my situation, which is the first thing that you need to do. If you want to change your situation, you need to completely, fully accept your current situation. When you're when you're holding feelings of resentment, guilt, shame, or anger towards your current situation, which are emotions that I dealt with a lot back then, you'll just be pushing against yourself. You will not be able to push against yourself to actually catapult yourself up. You'll actually be pushing you down further, okay? And I can say that because I know that's what happened, okay? And it wasn't until I was able to fully accept my situation that I was able to break free from it. To give you a very specific example, I struggled with binge eating for quite a few months. That was actually pretty much the biggest thing that led to the weight gain. And it wasn't until I was able to let go of the desire, I guess you could say, to lose weight in that moment that I was able to actually break free from the binge eating disorder, right? I actually quit binge eating in 1 day. I like to tell that story sometimes because honestly, it's insane that I was able to do that, because obviously every single day it's I'm not going to do it again tomorrow. I'm not going to do it again tomorrow. But when it comes to changing anything, it only takes 1 day. It only takes acceptance and decisiveness to make that change, which is exactly what I did. I decided to accept where I was. I decided to let go of any expectations of losing weight, and I was able to fuel my body properly, give it the nutrients that it needed so it no longer felt starving all the time. I was able to let go of the guilt around eating food so that I didn't, feel guilty, eat more, whatever. And another important thing that I did was I was able to let go of the whole stress around it. A lot of people tend to find themselves in eating disorder patterns because of this guilt cycle. And if you're able to completely accept it and let go of that, that's when you're able to break free from it. And I personally was able to break free from it, and I've never had a binge eating episode again, which has been absolutely incredible. With that being said, it was only when I was able to completely accept my situation and decide that I needed to change and not fight against myself. okay? Not fight against myself, try to force myself to do this or that, not continue to think that you're going to be making the changes that you've been trying to make this whole time. If you're trying to fight against your body, maybe the change that you need to make is not the change that you think you need to make, is the change that you think you don't need to make. Which for me was fueling my body properly. I wanted to lose weight. I didn't think that making sure that I was eating enough food would be helpful for that, but I lost 35 pounds after doing that, right? It wasn't very quick. I didn't gain weight after I decided to do that, but my weight stayed about the same because I was able to stop binge eating. And then eventually, when my body was able to heal, I was able to reduce inflammation, eliminate chronic bloating, eliminate chronic pain. Then and only then was I able to lose weight and keep it off. All right, so now that you have completely accepted your current situation, the second thing that you need to do is decide what you want instead. Now, I want you to be really specific about what you want instead. I don't want you to just be like, okay, so I'm like 185 pounds. I want to be 135 pounds. And that's the only thing that you think of. That honestly is like the most boring goal to me. I definitely like having weight loss goals. I've had weight loss goals in the past myself, but only looking at the numbers and only thinking about the numbers is pretty much going to set yourself up for failure. Why? Because not all the time is weight loss very consistent. Not all the time is it as quick as you want it to be. In fact, sustainable weight loss is not going to be as quick as you want it to be. Sorry to make you face the facts, but it's not, okay? And so if that is the only thing that you are focusing on, you're going to be left discouraged, and you're going to likely give up on your fitness journey, as 99% of individuals do when they start fitness journeys. Many individuals have started very many fitness journeys, and every single time they have given up because they missed this one key point. When you are thinking about what you want, you need to paint an entire picture. This is something that I do with my clients before they even start with me, right? When we're on our transformational call, our discovery call, whatever, I help them paint the picture of what it is that they want in a very, very clear view. Not just in the weight, okay? Not even just in the way they look, but in the way they feel, in their relationships, how they function at work, right? All of these things are so important. Also, like what they want, right? Because your physical health will not only positively affect your emotional health, your mental health, but it will also positively affect your relationships. It'll positively affect your career. It'll positively affect your confidence and ability to do things. It'll positively affect your ability to focus, your ability to think, and just do new things. And also it'll positively affect what you're able to do in general, right? You'll be able to say yes to going on adventures, right? And so these are the type of things that I really like my clients to think about and paint in their whole picture of what they want instead. So they're not just looking at, okay, oh my gosh, like I haven't lost the amount of weight that I wanted to lose this month, but what positive has happened despite that, right? Because again, not all weight loss is going to be super consistent, and sustainable weight loss most of the time is not always super consistent, okay? And so it's really important to look at these other things, right? How is your energy levels, okay? How is your confidence in your body? How are you responding to people? Are you a little bit less irritable than you were before? How is your focus at work? Are you able to stay on task, or are you getting really distracted? How was your sleep? That's a really big one that I help my clients with. Almost every single individual who has come to me has had absolutely terrible sleep, and I so far have not failed at helping my clients completely transform their sleep, which is absolutely incredible, because proper sleep helps transform not only for your physique, but your mental health, your energy levels, and literally everything in your life. And so it's really important to pay attention to these different aspects. I kind of want to bring one of my clients in here as an example. So I have this client, we actually had a call today. She is doing absolutely incredible. She's feeling amazing, so much energy. And one thing that she struggled with a lot when she first started, we first had to start in a reverse, and she has hypothyroidism. So she struggled through the reverse because, she was that person going through reverse that didn't lose weight, didn't maintain weight. Her weight did go up a little bit in the reverse. And now I, as a coach, understand that there's three types of people when going through a reverse, okay? And I explain that to my clients when they first begin reverses, because I don't know how clients are going to respond when implementing specific protocols. So I like to explain to them to know what to expect. But this client gained a little bit of weight through the reverse, and she was getting kind of frustrated. She was like, I trust the process, but it is frustrating. She was getting discouraged, but she stuck with it. She was able to stick with it. And the biggest reason I think she was able to stick with it is because she was seeing positive changes in her lifestyle. I was able to help her improve her sleep. Her energy was increasing. She was able to improve her relationship with food and the food that she was eating. She was feeling stronger in the gym. And those things, because she was also focusing on these positive sides, or these positive, I guess, biofeedbacks is what we call them, not just the scale, she was able to stick with it, okay? And because she stuck with it, she has now lost 30 pounds, which is absolutely incredible. She lost 20 pounds in the first 16-week deficit, and then in the last few months, I think about like 4 months or 5 months, I can't remember exactly, without changing her macros at all, she has lost 10 pounds because we've been focusing on improving her health. Her thyroid hormones are now in normal ranges, not in optimal ranges quite yet, but they're now in normal ranges, which is absolutely incredible. And that was just because she was able to stick with it. Whereas I've had other clients who, when they go through a reverse, they get really frustrated. I try to tell them to focus on these other positive things that are happening in their life, but they get so stuck on that number that they tend to just want to check out of the whole process. And when they're not able to go through the process fully, the process that they need to do in order to see those sustainable results that this other client is getting, they won't be able to come to the other side and see those amazing results, right? Because they're so fixated on the number. So I just wanted to bring those two examples to light to clearly show you why I tell you to paint a full picture of what it is that you want, okay? Because, I'm guessing that since you're here, we're probably talking about overcoming weight loss resistance, okay? Overcoming weight loss resistance is no easy feat. It does take time. It does take work. It does take healing your body, right? And so it's really important to look at these other aspects when you're wanting to overcome weight loss resistance, because if you're able to do that, you'll be able to, because she effectively overcame weight loss resistance after so many years, okay? And so that is truly what is necessary to help you do so, okay? So when you're creating your goals, figure out what you want instead, be very, very detailed about it, and have different aspects. Paint a picture of like what you want your day to be like, okay? This is what I want my day to be like. And like, let's say like 6 months or 12 months or something like that. And then you'll be able to focus on that. And when you see little improvements to living closer and closer to that type of day, then you'll be able to celebrate, because again, it's not just about the number on the scale, it's about how you feel, okay? And of course, how you look is good and all. I love helping my clients achieve their dream physiques. That's amazing. But that's only done so when you're able to improve your health as well. And when you improve your health as well, you'll be able to keep the weight off that much easier. So that is the second thing that you need to do to change your current situation. What do you want instead? All right, now step number 3 is figure out what you will do to change your current situation. Having a clear plan in place is extremely important, because if you are like, okay, so I don't want this, but I want this, and then you just keep that in your mind, but don't have a clear plan of what to do it, you're not going to achieve it. Manifestation will not work unless you have a clear plan, okay? Manifestation is pretty much what just happens when you focus on a goal, keep it in the top of your mind, and then implement the daily habits necessary to get there, okay? It's not magic. I'm not like a manifestation person either, really. That's just what I believe, that what people call manifestation is it needs to have a clear plan in place in order to do so. So now that you have accepted your situation, now that you know what it is that you want instead, I want you to figure out what it is that you need to do to get there. If you have no idea what you need to do to get there, however, I highly recommend implementing step number 4, which is hiring a coach and or a mentor, depending on what you need to do. Again, the biggest thing that we're talking about here is overcoming weight loss resistance or healing your body. So hiring a practitioner, of course, will be extremely important to help you do so, because most of the time, I'm guessing you've probably tried a lot of things by now. You've probably felt you've tried everything to try to achieve your goals. And so I probably would not recommend trying to just make your own plan again. I wouldn't recommend doing Mr. Google searches to try to come up with, piece together a little plan. I would highly recommend hiring a professional coach who knows how to help you with whatever issue is going on. And another thing is also really important is to understand, talking about health, overcoming weight loss resistance is also important to get to the root of what is going on and what is holding you back from healing your body and achieving your goals, which is something that a coach or a practitioner such as myself can help you with. So step number 4 is really important. To help you implement that plan is a coach that will help build that for you, see what you need, and it'll just make it so much easier. Honestly, you guys, hiring a coach, hiring a mentor will 10x your chance of achieving your goals than if you try to just piece together information online, okay? So I highly recommend doing that. Of course, it's not absolutely necessary. There are a lot of people who achieve their goals on their own, but more people achieve their goals when they have a coach. So I highly recommend thinking about that, or at least looking into it, because that's really important to make sure that you have the right plan, because having a plan is not helpful if it's not the right plan for you. So also keep that in mind when you are creating your plan. All right, and then step number 5 is to take action. All right, none of this will literally do anything for you if you don't take action. You can accept your current situation, you can figure out what you want instead, you can make a plan for what you're gonna do, you can hire that mentor, but if you do not implement, you will not see any progress and you will never achieve your goals, okay? So this isn't necessarily the most important step, but it is a vitally important step for you to implement in order to actually see those changes. A really big mistake that I see people make when they first, decide that they want to change, they do the first 4 steps, or maybe a few of those steps there. Maybe they accept their current situation, maybe they, figure out what they want instead, make a plan, maybe they even hire a coach, but then they miss the implementation part. If you have a coach, it does not matter how good that coach is. If you do not implement, you will not be able to see results, okay? I have never had a client who has not implemented, and I've never had a client who has not implemented achieve their goals, okay? I can't work magic, sadly, I cannot do the work for them, but in the same line, I have never ever had a client who has implemented my plan and not seen results, okay? So when if you're doing it on your own, or if you hire a coach, you need to implement the plan consistently. And a little bonus for you guys, I'll give you a little bonus number 6. When you are implementing, keep track of the results. And if the results aren't coming to you consistently, or if something feels off, or it seems like you're not making consistent progress, if you have a coach, chat about with your coach, try to troubleshoot to see what you can change, what may be off. Maybe you're missing something in your health profile, or the root causes that you need to address in order to heal your body and achieve your goals. Or maybe if you're struggling to, hit the numbers in your business that you want to hit, you need to troubleshoot and adjust as necessary. That's also vitally important, because if you pick a plan, it does not matter how amazing that plan is. If it's not working, you need to troubleshoot and see if there's anything that you can specifically change. Of course, you also need to stay consistent with it as well. That's really important. Stay consistent on the plan, because sometimes plans just take time to come to fruition. That's also really important to think about as well. So those are the 6 things that you need to do. I gave you a little added bonus there if you want to change your situation. So what I want you to do now, after learning what to do, I want you to go out and implement. First thing, okay, I want you to accept your current situation. Second thing, I want you to figure out and write down what it is that you want instead. Number 3, determine what you'll do to change your situation, create a plan. Number 4, highly recommend hiring a mentor or a coach depending on what you need. And number 5, take action. I want you to go out and do this, especially since we're like coming towards the end of the year. It's really important to make sure that you finish this year off strong. Do not wait for January, you guys, okay? If you really want to, sure, that's fine. But I highly recommend getting started today with what you can, even if it's just implementing literally one habit. If your sleep has been terrible, maybe just implement some habits to improve your sleep throughout the holiday season. It does not need to be crazy. In fact, those crazy changes that people make are not sustainable. So do what you can now to make positive changes to help create the future that you want, to help change your current situation, all right? And if you need support in overcoming weight loss resistance and low energy by healing the root cause to finally experience health, then you can go to the link below to apply for one-on-one holistic health coaching with me, and I can see what you need to heal your body and achieve your goals. All right, I will see you in the next episode. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.